Assalamualaikum. Today we will present about the organizational behavior. Our group member is me, NurHazila Nazirah, Siti Fathihah, and also Luqman Hakeem. The things that we will explain in this video is personality, values, and also perception. As you know, personality is a pattern body of habits, traits, attitudes, and ideas of an individual. An individual's personality is the combination of traits and patterns that influence their behavior, thought, motivation, and also emotion. Each person has a unique ways of projecting these states. They are focuses on two broad areas. Firstly is understanding individual differences personality. Secondly is understanding how the various parts of person come together as a whole. Next, I will explain about the personality that have in each individual. First thing is openness. Second is concisiveness. Third is extroversion. Fourth is agreeableness. And also five, the last one is neuroticism. Okay, I will explain about how employees are individuals. How does their individuality affect their participation within an organization? First thing, I will explain about the openness. Openness is how willing and eager an individual is to try new experience and consider new ideas. Second, concisiveness. How concerned an individual is to be organized, punctual, reliable, and dependable. Third is extraversion. How eager an individual is to be outgoing and have social interaction. Fourth is agreeableness. How desirous an individual is to please others and briefly sensitive and kind. And also the last one is neuroticism. How negative, moody, and emotionally unstable an individual is. And now I will explain about the turnover. It's from the dependent variable. Turnover is refer of an employees leaving a company or an organization. Turnover is particularly a problem when high-performing employees leave, while a poor performer leaving may actually give a chance to the organization to improve their productivity and also morale. Why do employees leave? There are four things why the employees leave the company. It's maybe because of the poor performance, encouraged to quit or fear of being fired, stress from overload works, and also unhappy with the work outline. Next, I will explain about the situation of personality and the turnover. Personality is a factor in the decision to quit one's job. People who are concise, agreeable, and emotionally stable are less likely to quit a job. In example, Intel Fact Company found that many of their new hires were likely to quit within 45 days of their hiring dates. When they investigate, they found that newly hired employees were experiencing a lot of stress from avoidable problems such as unclear job descriptions or problem with hooking up their computers. As we can see, the personality that have in their employee is neuroticism and is emotionally unstable. Because of this neuroticism personality, the employee have an intention to leave their jobs. Intel Fact Company Human Resource was able to solve the turnover problem by paying special attention to orienting new hires.
So today I would like to talk about values. So values define in organizational behavior as the collective conception of what is considered good, desirable, and proper, or bad, undesirable, and improper in a culture. Some common business values are fairness, innovations, and community involvement. So that means values can be said to be desirable, transsituational goals, varying in importance that serve a guiding principle in people's lives. So next, important of values, large impact on what individuals think of the organization's function and individuals approach a subject and tackle problems. For example, if a person places high value, they tend to avoid giving a bribe to get a promotion. However, if another person places high value on reaching the highest position in the workplace, so there is more likely to give a bribe for a promotion. As a person, we have a value. So my values is God, friends, family, society, and religions. Next, they have two types of value from Rockage survey value. The first one is terminal values. Terminal values means desirable end stage of existing, which is the goals that a person would like to achieve during his or her lifetime. As an example, for terminal values is a comfortable life, self-respect, and freedom. Besides that, we have instrumental values, which is preferable modes of behavior or means of achieving one's terminal values. As an example of instrumental value is ambitious, independent, honest, and helpful. Overall, in every person, they have good and bad attitude. So, in every company, they have many characteristics such as low or high productivity and less or more effective. It is based on her or his character. If they're less effective, maybe they're not taking seriously during a task or just plain distribute behavior. So, this situation cannot be allowed on the team or company. For a dependent variable, productivity from a person in a company is very highly recommended. Productivity is always the result of a commitment to excellent, intelligent planning and focused effort. For instance, if our employees have a bad attitude at their office or work, as a managers, we should recognize it and take an action to it. We should know what their problem is before they come to work. Sometimes they had a problem that we didn't know about it, then we should give some advice to them so that they can change their attitude. And sometimes the problem that they had is the clueless problem. So because of that, we should take an action, a serious action like give a letter warning. And beside that, before we hire someone, don't just see the intelligent criteria or character, but see the attitude, how the ways he spoke, how the way that they treat someone and others. Don't just see the physical, but take a look in every aspect. They have many tips to make the employees good and excellent in the team or business, such as proactively deal with employee, need to do the document rules, which is give agreement or something that can be one of the action as a manager. Other than that, as a managers, we can be a good example to the employees, such as coming earlier to the office, cooperating in all matters, and many more. Next is in value view, we must be a responsible person not to bother other people. Nevertheless, as a manager, we must take an action to realize the employee that he has an attitude problem. In addition, we need to do something so that such things can be avoided as soon as possible, and this attitude will not be appearing by any staff. In conclusion, for all employees have learned to take responsibility for your every action. People can only advise or tell you to do this and that, but the call is really on you. Both good and bad behavior should end with productivity. Your mode affairs should never influence your work.
Today I will present about perception. So, what is perception? Perception includes the five senses, which is touch, sight, sound, smell, and taste. It also includes what is known as proprioception, a set of senses involving the ability to detect changes in body positions and movements. It also involves the cognitive processes required to process information, such as recognizing the face of a friend or detecting a familiar scent. So, this is the factors that influence perception. There are three factors that will influence perception, that is factors in the perceiver, factors in the target, and the perceiver perceives in the factors in the situation. So, under the factor in the situation, which is time, work setting, and social setting. For the factors of the perceiver, attitudes, motives, interests, experience, and expectations. And lastly, the factors in the target, novelty, motion, sounds, size, background, proximity, and similarity. So, in the perspective, it is when employees have volunteered to help to finish the extra work that not completed yet. In this situation, what will happen is the higher-ups will notice and also give more attention to these employees and ready to take actions. So this is the organizational citizenship behavior. In organizational citizenship behavior, satisfied employees who feel fairly treated by and are trusting of the organization are more willing to engage in behaviors that go beyond the normal expectations of their job. It means they will do extra tasks and voluntary tasks for the organization because they believe that the organization is important for them. So the situation is, any perception from anyone are important in some cases. This will help to show how people will be judging someone else, whether it is good or bad. An interpretation such as distinctiveness, consensus, and consistency will lead to attribution of cause. Workers or employees have the feeling or responsibility to keep their commitment with their job because they believe and trusted their organization. So the example is Apple company able to improve their employee retention rate from 61% to 81% in just 2 years. They succeed because they do not undervalue any individual and stay in tune with employee sentiment. This is a high distinctiveness from Angela Ahrens, the senior of Vice Apple. She understands what their employees want with interviewing why they are staying and why they will be leaving. The simple act of reaching out makes them 4.6 times more likely to perform at their very best. This will benefit the company. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.